their starter earlier this week over rookies Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. Those two have both dealt with injuries in camp. And moments ago, head coach Kevin Stefanski gave us an update on their plan for the final preseason game on Saturday.
Joe will start the game, Dillon will play second, Shedeur will play third. We want those guys to go out there and get us in the correct plays, run the offense, spread the ball around, all those things, but nothing out of the ordinary, nothing that we don't ask them to do out here on the practice field.
Whenever it's time for me to get out there and play, I'm going to play. Whenever it's time for the lights to come on, I'm going to do my thing. I'm not concerned about when it is. I'm not concerned about, how many reps I'm getting at this point is what it is, because I know when the lights come on, when everything go on, when the pressure's on, you know who I am. And I'm always be that way.
Let's welcome in Coach Herm Edwards. And Herm, what do you think about those comments from Shedeur Sanders?
Well, that surprised me. I've known him since he was a little guy, since a little kid. I was coaching the Under Armour game, and Dion was one of the assistant coaches. So he has a lot of confidence, similar to what the confidence his father had. But I think he finds himself in a predicament right now that, look, I thought he played well in the preseason, but when I watched Gabriel play, oh boy, it was different. Dillon Gabriel was very good in the pocket. He ran the offense. I mean, he got the ball out of his hand. He was accurate, made some tough throws. This is why they drafted him. I can see why they drafted him. But I thought he really played well in the preseason game.
First of all, I am just surprised to see a 40-year-old quarterback playing in the preseason. I didn't know that was allowed, because that's not what's happening for Pittsburgh later tonight. But I think that what Shedeur said there about when the pressure is on, that is when he comes on. Lucky for him, this is a lot of pressure. Yes, it is just a preseason game. No, he's not competing for the starting job, but there's still a competition going, and that's for that number 2 guy. Who's going to get the reps behind Joe Flacco in practice? That is so incredibly important. Who is going to be the guy that is just a play away? And I saw when I was in Pittsburgh a couple years ago and Mitch Trubisky started and Kenny Pickett was right there. Kenny didn't have any kind of chemistry with the first team offense because he hadn't been getting those reps. Now, I think that it's a similar situation, that you want to make sure these guys are getting chemistry with everyone so that when they are thrown in, it's a more seamless transition. I like Shedeur. I think that he has a higher ceiling and Gabriel has a higher floor, but that's what the preseason's for. Let's figure it out.
Well, this is all what this last preseason game is about, and to see if there's any way that it provides the Browns any insight into who's going to be the backup on opening day when the Cleveland Browns play the Cincinnati Bengals. That is where the real drama is in the Browns quarterback battle. And I think that you're going to see all 4 quarterbacks on this roster come next week once teams make final cutdowns. I think the Browns are planning to keep Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dillon Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders. Most teams don't keep 4. I don't know if Coach Edwards has ever kept 4 quarterbacks on a roster. I'd be curious to hear that, but I think the Browns view quarterbacks as currency. And unless they make some kind of trade here, dealing one of them away, which certainly could always happen, I would think they're poised to carry 4 quarterbacks next week. And these quarterbacks in the preseason finale will be vying for who gets second spot on the depth chart.
And a reminder, no team has used more starting quarterbacks than the Browns since.
So no, the answer is no. I feel good about that, yeah.
Without a contract extension?
I feel good that Mike is going to be out there against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Welcome to the Thursday edition of NFL Live alongside Brooke Pryor. Herm Edwards is going to join us in a second. Adam Schefter is with us now. I'm Michelle Smallman. And we've got Week 3 preseason action getting underway tonight, which we're going to get to in a little bit. But we start here in Dallas, where there's still no deal for Micah Parsons. But Jerry Jones, he doesn't seem all that concerned.
Micah's a great player, not a good player, but a great player. He knows more than anyone that it's a team thing. And so I know everybody's tired of hearing this, but you've got to put this puzzle together so that you can have some other people out there playing with Michael. That's the art of the deal.
Adam, there's 2 sides here, Dallas and Micah Parsons, and it seems like the decision makers in Dallas are confident. But has anything changed with Micah Parsons?
Nothing has changed. And again, you can't work out a deal unless you're actually discussing a deal. And the Cowboys and Micah have not discussed a deal since late March, early April. We'll see if they could find a way to get together. And look, the start of the season always brings little last-minute events that you might not expect. And that, I think, is the one hat that the Cowboys can hang their hat on. Some reason for optimism that just like CeeDee Lamb came together late last year, just like Dak Prescott came together on the day the season opened last year, maybe there's a way the same can happen for Micah Parsons. But it certainly doesn't feel that way, and it feels a lot different than last year, and Micah feels different than CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott. But we'll see if anything happens. I heard Brian Schottenheimer say he believes that Micah will play. I think there are two factors to keep in mind. Number one, Micah Parsons still hasn't practiced this summer due to the tightness in his back. His back has to feel okay for him to play. And number two, that contract hangs out there, and there's no sign that that's going to be getting done anytime soon. We'll see if anything changes here in the next 2 weeks.
And Brooke, Adam's right. This one does feel a little different. What do you think about this situation now just 2 weeks out from the opener?
Well, I think the time for the Cowboys to try to get what sounds like Jerry's asking Micah to take, hey, let's take one for the team. Let's do a team-friendly deal. Take a discount for us, is what I'm hearing when he says that. The time for that was months ago when this negotiation started. Jerry has to know the longer this drags out, the more leverage Micah has, the more money he commands as this market continues to get reset and reset. When I look at this and I hear Adam say nothing has changed, the difference in Dak's deal getting done right before the season, CD's deal getting done right before the season, is that Jerry was comfortable paying those guys top dollar. It sounds like he is not comfortable or does not want to do that with Micah. So if he's not, then I don't know that the start of the season is going to change much.
Well, Jerry was prepared to pay Micah top dollar, and he felt that there was a deal, an agreement in place. Now, Micah Parsons never saw that deal on paper, never assigned anything, and the agent was not involved. And at the owners' meetings, we heard Jerry Jones refer to the fact that they didn't need to have the agent to get a deal done, only to see Micah Parsons tweet that anytime I'll be doing a deal, I will be including my agent in this particular contract. And again, Jerry says it's a puzzle. That puzzle has been put together for quite some time. And yes, putting together the puzzle today does impact the cap in 26 and 27 and 28 and beyond. But everybody knows what the math would look like on a Micah Parsons deal. He's going to be the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. It's not difficult to figure out. Either you do it or you don't. And not only are they not doing it, but they haven't even talked about doing it in months.
Well, if we're looking at the timeline here, nothing new in Dallas. CeeDee Lamb signed his big deal in August, and Dak Prescott's extension was right up against the beginning of the season in September. But let's pivot and get to a developing story in Baltimore. Quarterback Lamar Jackson did not practice today. Now, this comes a day after Jackson left practice early with what the team said was due to his foot being stepped on. Here's his head coach, John Harbaugh, moments ago.
Yeah, he got his foot stepped on, like we said yesterday. I think Chad had mentioned that.